Have you ever met someone and felt an immediate, undeniable pull? A connection so deep, so resonant, it feels as though you've known them for a lifetime or perhaps many lifetimes. It's a language your souls speak fluently, even if your minds are just beginning to learn the words. But then, just as suddenly as it began, the path diverges. The connection that felt destined to last forever becomes a memory, a beautiful, aching echo in the chambers of your heart. And you are left with the profound, bewildering question: why do some souls meet, but are not meant to merge? This is one of the most poignant and misunderstood journeys of the human heart. It is a sacred paradox that challenges our deepest desires for permanence and possession. We are taught to believe that a connection this profound must lead to a shared future, a merging of two lives into one. But what if the purpose of some of these soul encounters is not union, but transformation? What if they are not meant to be the destination, but the catalyst that awakens you to the path you were always meant to walk? Today, we delve into the spiritual psychology of these powerful, transient connections. We will explore the cosmic contracts, the karmic lessons, and the profound love that exists in meetings that are not meant for a lifetime of togetherness. This is not a story of loss, but of a deeper, more expansive understanding of love, a love that liberates, heals, and ultimately leads you back to the most important soul connection of all, the one you have with yourself. There is a fundamental misunderstanding in the way we approach love. We often see it as a force that should conquer all obstacles, an emotion that, if pure enough, will inevitably lead to a shared life. We believe that when we meet a soul that mirrors our own, the universe has given us a sign that we have found our other half. But the universe operates on principles far more complex and benevolent than simple possession. It is not interested in merely giving you a partner. It is invested in your evolution. And sometimes, the most profound evolution comes from the connections that are not meant to last. These are the souls who enter our lives with the force of a comet, illuminating our inner world with a brilliance we never knew existed. They see us, truly see us, in a way that no one else has. With them, we feel a sense of homecoming, a safety to be our most authentic selves. The conversations flow without effort, the silence is as comfortable as a shared breath, and the intimacy transcends the physical. It is a meeting of spirits, a dance of energies that have been seeking each other across time. But these connections are not always designed for the long, winding road of earthly partnership. They are not meant for the quiet routines of domestic life, the shared responsibilities, and the day-to-day compromises that define a merged existence. They are here for a different, more sacred purpose. They are here to awaken a part of you that has been dormant. They are here to show you the depths of your own capacity to love, to feel, and to heal. They are here to hold up a mirror to your soul, reflecting back to you not only your light, but also the shadows you have yet to embrace. Think of these souls as divine catalysts. Their arrival is a signal that a significant shift is about to occur in your life. They come to disrupt your patterns, to challenge your beliefs, and to shatter the illusions you have been living under. They love you enough to shake you from your slumber, even if it means they cannot stay to see you fully awaken. Their role is not to be the destination, but the guide who points you in the right direction. And once their purpose is fulfilled, the energy of the connection shifts. The path that once ran parallel begins to diverge, not out of a lack of love, but out of a cosmic necessity for both souls to continue their individual journeys. The pain of these separations can be immense. It feels like a tearing of the soul, a profound sense of loss that defies logical explanation. How can something that felt so right suddenly feel so impossible? This is where our human desire for permanence clashes with the soul's need for growth. We grieve the future we imagined, the life we thought we would build together. But what if the future that awaits you is even more aligned with your soul's purpose? A future that could only be reached because this person came into your life and prepared you for it. The love in these connections is real. It is not a fantasy or a delusion. It is a powerful, transformative force, but it is a love that is meant to be integrated, not possessed. It is a love that teaches you about your own divinity, your own strength, and your own worth. The lessons they impart are the gifts they leave behind. Perhaps they taught you how to open your heart after years of being closed off. Perhaps they showed you your own creative potential, your own capacity for joy, your own resilience. Perhaps they mirrored your deepest wounds, forcing you to finally confront and heal them. These are not failed relationships. They are successful soul encounters. Their success is not measured by the duration of the physical connection, but by the depth of the transformation they ignite within you. To hold on, to force a merging that is not destined, is to dishonor the sacred purpose of the meeting. It is to try and cage a comet, to dim a light that was meant to illuminate your path, not just your home. The journey of letting go is an act of profound spiritual maturity. It is the understanding that some people are chapters in your book, not the entire story. And every chapter, no matter how brief, is essential to the narrative of your soul's evolution. It is in the release that you truly receive the gift of the connection. You integrate the lessons, you cherish the love, and you carry the wisdom forward into the next phase of your journey. So, if you are carrying the ache of a soul connection that did not merge, I invite you to shift your perspective. See it not as a loss, but as a sacred assignment completed. Honor the love you shared, for it was real and it was beautiful. And honor the path that is now unfolding before you, a path that you are now more equipped to walk because of the soul who journeyed with you for a time. You did not lose them. You were gifted their presence for the exact amount of time your soul required. And now, you are free to become the person you were always meant to be, not in spite of their absence, but because of their profound and perfectly timed presence. The concept of a soul contract is a cornerstone of understanding these powerful, yet transient connections. Before we incarnate into this physical reality, our souls make agreements with other souls. These are not contracts in the legal sense, bound by rigid clauses and expectations. They are sacred pacts, agreements made from a place of unconditional love and a shared desire for mutual growth. These contracts outline the roles we will play in each other's lives, the lessons we will help each other learn, and the healing we will facilitate for one another. Some souls agree to be our parents, our siblings, our lifelong partners. They sign up for the long haul to be a consistent presence in our earthly journey. But other souls agree to a different kind of role. They are the catalysts, the activators, the ones who come in for a specific, high-impact purpose, and then their contract fulfilled, they move on. These are often the souls with whom we share the most intense, electrifying connections. The resonance is so strong because our souls recognize each other, and the importance of the work they have agreed to do together. When you meet one of these souls, there is an immediate sense of familiarity. It's a feeling of, oh, there you are. I've been waiting for you. This recognition is not just a romantic notion. It is the memory of a promise made on a higher plane of consciousness. Your souls are ready to begin the work they agreed to do. This work can take many forms. It might be to awaken your spiritual gifts, to help you heal a deep-seated trauma from a past life, or to push you out of a stagnant situation that is no longer serving your growth. The intensity of the connection is a reflection of the importance of the lesson. The universe needs to get your attention, and there is no more powerful way to do that than through the human heart. The love you feel is the vehicle for the transformation. It is what opens you up, makes you vulnerable, and allows the lessons to penetrate your consciousness. Without that profound emotional bond, you might resist the changes, you might cling to your old ways of being. But the love compels you to listen, to grow, and to evolve. However, the contract for these catalyst souls often has an expiration date. The agreement was for a specific lesson, a particular awakening. Once that lesson has been delivered, once the awakening has been triggered, the energetic purpose of the connection is complete. This is where the human ego often struggles. The ego wants to hold on, to possess, to make the connection permanent. The ego sees the departure of this person as a failure, a rejection, but the soul understands. The soul knows that the contract has been honored, that the mission has been accomplished. The pain of separation is the friction between the ego's desire and the soul's wisdom. The ego grieves the loss of the person, the future it had constructed. The soul, on the other hand, is integrating the growth, celebrating the evolution. The challenge for us is to align our human perspective with our soul's understanding. It is to see the beauty and perfection in a connection that was designed to be a chapter, not the whole book. Letting go of a soul with whom you have a contract is not about forgetting them or diminishing the love you shared. It is about releasing them with gratitude. It is about thanking them, on a soul level, for fulfilling their promise to you. It is about understanding that their journey continues, just as yours does, and that you have both been irrevocably and beautifully changed by the encounter. When you can look back on a connection that did not merge and see it not as a failed relationship, but as a successful soul contract, you shift from a place of lack to a place of empowerment. You recognize that you were not abandoned, you were activated. You were not rejected, you were redirected. The love you experienced was not a mistake, it was a sacred tool for your evolution. These souls are a gift. They are the brave ones who agreed to play a difficult, often painful, role in your life for the sake of your growth. They loved you enough to be the one to break your heart open, so that more light could get in. They loved you enough to walk away, so that you could learn to walk on your own, stronger and more radiant than before. When we understand the nature of these sacred agreements, we can begin to heal the wounds of separation and embrace the profound wisdom that these powerful soul encounters are meant to bestow upon us. In the landscape of the heart, we often use the term soulmate to describe a person with whom we share a deep spiritual connection. We envision a soulmate as our perfect match, the one who completes us, and with whom we will spend the rest of our lives. But this is a limited and often romanticized view of a much more complex and multifaceted reality. The truth is, we have many soulmates, and they come into our lives for different reasons and for different durations. It is helpful to distinguish between a life partner soulmate and a catalyst soulmate. A life partner is a soul with whom you have a contract for long-term companionship, for building a life together, for navigating the day-to-day journey of earthly existence. There is a deep love, a compatibility, and a shared vision for the future. The energy of this connection is one of stability, of gentle growth, of creating a shared sanctuary in the world. A catalyst soulmate, on the other hand, is a soul who enters your life with a different purpose. Their role is not to build a life with you, but to fundamentally change the life you are living. They are here to accelerate your spiritual growth, to trigger a profound awakening, and to help you shed old layers of your identity that are no longer serving you. The connection with a catalyst soulmate is often characterized by an intense, almost overwhelming energy. It can be a whirlwind of passion, of deep emotional highs and lows, of a feeling of being more alive than you have ever been. These connections are not meant to be stable in the conventional sense. Their very nature is disruptive. They are designed to shake up your world, to challenge your perceptions, and to force you to confront your deepest fears and insecurities. A catalyst soulmate will mirror to you the parts of yourself that you have disowned or repressed. They will trigger your unhealed wounds, not to hurt you, but to bring them to the surface so that they can finally be healed. The relationship with a catalyst soulmate often feels like a spiritual boot camp. You are pushed to your limits, your heart is broken open, and you are forced to evolve at a rapid pace. It can be a painful and confusing experience, especially if you are trying to force this connection into the mold of a traditional life partnership. It is like trying to harness a hurricane in a teacup. The energy is too vast, too wild, too transformative to be contained in that way. The purpose of a catalyst soulmate is not to make you happy in the conventional sense. Their purpose is to make you conscious. They are here to wake you up from the slumber of your conditioned self and to remind you of the infinite, powerful soul that you truly are. And once that awakening has been initiated, once you have been set on your true path, their work is done. The intense energy that bound you together begins to dissipate, and the paths diverge. This divergence is not a failure. It is the natural and necessary conclusion of a successful catalyst connection. To cling to the person, to mourn the loss of the intensity, is to miss the point of the encounter. The gift of the catalyst is not their continued presence in your life, but the transformation they sparked within you. The intensity was the fuel for your metamorphosis. Now that you have the wings, you are meant to fly on your own. Many people spend years, even a lifetime, pining for a catalyst soulmate, believing that they have lost their one true love. But this is a misunderstanding that can keep you stuck in a cycle of pain and longing. The love was real, but its purpose was not to create a lasting union. Its purpose was to set you free. True freedom comes from integrating the lessons of the connection, from embracing the new, more conscious version of yourself that has emerged, and from moving forward with an open heart. When you understand the difference between a life partner and a catalyst soulmate, you can approach your relationships with a new level of wisdom and grace. You can honor the catalyst connections for the profound gifts they have brought you, without needing them to be something they are not meant to be. And you can open yourself to the possibility of a life partner, a soul who is meant to walk beside you, to support you, and to build a life of shared love and purpose. Not every great love is meant to be a life partner, and not every life partner will have the explosive intensity of a catalyst. And that is not only okay, it is a beautiful and necessary part of the soul's rich and varied journey. One of the most painful aspects of a soul connection that doesn't merge is the feeling of almost. You were so close. You could taste the future. You could feel the lifetime of shared moments. Everything seemed to be aligning, and then, for reasons you may never fully understand, it fell apart. This experience can leave you questioning everything, replaying every moment, and wondering what you could have done differently. But often, the reason for the separation has nothing to do with a lack of love or a mistake that was made. It has to do with the immutable and often frustrating law of divine timing. In the realm of the soul, timing is everything. Two souls can be perfectly compatible, deeply in love, and yet, if the timing is not right, the connection cannot be sustained in the physical world. This is because a lasting, conscious relationship requires more than just love. It requires two individuals who are both ready, willing, and able to do the work of building a life together. It requires a certain level of emotional maturity, of self-awareness, and of alignment with one's own soul purpose. You may meet a soul with whom you have a profound connection, but one or both of you may not be in the right place in your individual journeys to come together. One person may still have significant healing to do from past relationships. They may be enmeshed in a career that is not aligned with their soul, or they may be struggling with addictions or unresolved family issues. The other person may be on the cusp of a major spiritual awakening, a period of profound self-discovery that requires them to be alone. In these situations, the love between the two souls can be a beacon of what is possible, a glimpse into a future that may or may not come to pass. But to force a union when the timing is not right is to set the relationship up for failure. It is like trying to plant a beautiful flower in soil that has not been properly prepared. No matter how exquisite the flower, it will not be able to thrive. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, will often create a separation to protect the potential of the connection. It is an act of love, not of cruelty. The separation provides the necessary space for each individual to do their own work, to heal their own wounds, to align with their own soul path. It is a sacred pause, a divine intermission that allows for the necessary growth to occur. During this time of separation, it is crucial to focus on your own journey, to wait for the other person, to put your life on hold in the hopes that they will return, is to give away your power and to miss the opportunity for your own evolution. The purpose of the separation is not for you to pine, but for you to grow. It is an invitation to turn inward, to cultivate a deeper relationship with yourself, and to become the person you need to be in order to be ready for a conscious, wholehearted partnership. This may mean that you and this soul will come back together in the future, when the timing is right. Or it may mean that the separation is permanent, and the purpose of the connection was simply to set you on this path of self-discovery. You must be willing to accept either outcome. Your happiness and your worth are not dependent on the return of this person. They are dependent on your own commitment to your own healing and growth. Surrendering to divine timing is one of the most challenging and most rewarding spiritual practices. It requires faith, patience, and a deep trust in the unfolding of your life. It is the understanding that you cannot control everything, that there is a larger intelligence at play. Your only job is to focus on your own vibration, on your own alignment, and to trust that what is meant for you will find you at the perfect time in the perfect way. So if you are struggling with a connection that feels like a case of right person, wrong time, I invite you to release the need to control the outcome. Bless the other person on their journey and turn your attention back to your own. Use this time to become the most vibrant, whole, and authentic version of yourself, and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor, orchestrating a future that is even more beautiful than the one you had imagined. Whether that future includes this person or not, it will be the one that is most aligned with the highest good of your soul. When a deep soul connection ends, the grief can be all-consuming. It's not just the loss of a person, it's the loss of a dream, a future, a part of yourself that came alive in their presence. In the midst of this pain, the natural human instinct is to either cling desperately to what was, or to try and sever the cord completely, to erase the person from your memory in an attempt to numb the ache. But there is a third way, a more conscious and healing path, the path of releasing with love. Releasing with love is not about pretending you're not in pain. It's not about spiritual bypassing or forcing forgiveness before you're ready. It is the courageous act of holding two seemingly contradictory truths at the same time: the truth of your deep love for this person, and the truth that your paths are no longer meant to be intertwined. It is the practice of honoring the connection without being attached to the outcome. The first step in this process is to allow yourself to feel the full spectrum of your emotions. Grieve the loss, be angry, be sad, be confused. Your feelings are valid and they need to be acknowledged and processed. Pushing them down or judging yourself for having them will only prolong the suffering. Create a safe space for your heart to break. Write in a journal, talk to a trusted friend, cry as much as you need to. This is the sacred work of emotional alchemy, of allowing the fire of your feelings to purify you, to burn away the attachments and leave behind the pure gold of the lessons learned. As you move through the initial waves of grief, you can begin to shift your focus from what was lost to what was gained. Make a list of all the ways this person helped you grow. What did they teach you about yourself? What parts of you did they awaken? How are you a better, more conscious person because of them? This is not about romanticizing the relationship or ignoring the pain. It is about consciously choosing to focus on the gifts of the connection. This practice rewires your brain to see the experience not as a failure, but as a valuable and necessary part of your journey. The next step is to send love and gratitude to the other person, not for their benefit but for yours. You can do this through a simple meditation or a letter that you never send. Picture them in your mind's eye. Thank them for the role they played in your life. Thank them for the love, the joy, the lessons. And then with love and compassion, release them to their own path. Wish them well. This act of sending love is a powerful way to clear any lingering energetic cords of anger, resentment, or attachment. It is a declaration to the universe and to yourself that you are choosing love over fear, freedom over bondage. Releasing with love also means releasing the story you have created around the separation. The story that you weren't good enough, that you did something wrong, that you will never find love like that again. These are the stories of the ego, and they keep you trapped in a cycle of suffering. Replace these stories with a new one, a story of empowerment and trust. A story that this separation is a redirection, that you are being guided towards something even more aligned with your soul's purpose. A story that you are whole and complete on your own, and that this experience has made you even more so. Finally, releasing with love is about turning that love and compassion back towards yourself. You have been through a profound and painful experience. You need your own care, your own tenderness, your own forgiveness. Forgive yourself for any perceived mistakes. Honor your own resilience. Celebrate your own growth. Fall in love with the person you are becoming because of this journey. This is not a one-time event. It is a continuous practice. There will be days when the grief resurfaces, when the longing feels unbearable. In those moments, be gentle with yourself. Return to the practice of feeling your emotions, focusing on gratitude, sending love, and rewriting your story. Over time, you will find that the sharp edges of the pain begin to soften. The attachment will loosen its grip. And what will remain is a beautiful, expansive love for the person, for yourself, and for the mysterious, perfect unfolding of your life. Releasing with love is the ultimate act of self-love. It is how you turn a heartbreak into a heart opening, and a painful ending into a powerful new beginning. At the heart of every painful separation lies a profound spiritual opportunity, the journey back to wholeness. We often enter into relationships, especially intense soul connections, with a conscious or unconscious hope that the other person will complete us. We look to them to fill the empty spaces within us, to heal our childhood wounds, to give us the love and validation we haven't yet learned to give ourselves. And for a time, it may seem to work. The intoxicating energy of a new love can be a powerful balm, temporarily soothing our deepest aches. But no one outside of you can make you whole. To place that expectation on another person is to set both of you up for failure. It is an unsustainable dynamic that ultimately leads to codependency and disappointment. The universe, in its infinite love for you, will not allow you to stay in a connection that is based on a false premise of external completion. And so, when a catalyst soulmate leaves, it is often a divine intervention, a sacred disruption designed to force you to find your wholeness within. The departure of this person creates a void. It is the void that they were temporarily filling. And in this void, all of your unhealed wounds, your insecurities, your fears of being alone will rush to the surface. It can feel like you are falling apart, like you cannot survive without them. But this is the most crucial moment of your spiritual journey. This is the moment when you are being invited to finally face yourself, to heal yourself, and to become your own source of love and validation. This is the path of self-worth healing. It is the understanding that your value is not determined by whether or not someone chooses to be with you. Your worth is inherent. It is absolute, and it has been with you since the moment of your creation. The connection you lost did not take your worth with it. It simply revealed the places where you had forgotten it. The journey back to wholeness is a journey of turning inward. It is about taking all of the love, the attention, the energy that you were pouring into the other person and redirecting it back to yourself. It is about becoming the partner to yourself that you were always seeking outside of you. This means learning to listen to your own needs and desires. It means setting healthy boundaries. It means celebrating your own strengths and holding yourself with compassion in your moments of weakness. It is about reparenting yourself, giving your inner child the love, the safety, and the acceptance it may not have received in your formative years. It is about confronting your shadows, the parts of yourself that you have judged and rejected, and integrating them with love and understanding. It is the alchemical process of turning the lead of your pain into the gold of your own divine essence. This is not an easy path. It requires courage, commitment, and a radical level of self-honesty. But it is the most rewarding journey you will ever undertake. Because as you begin to cultivate this deep, unshakable love for yourself, you will find that the desperate need for external validation begins to fall away. You will no longer look to a partner to complete you, because you will know that you are already whole. And from this place of wholeness, you will attract a different kind of love. You will attract a partner who is also whole, who is not looking for someone to fix or to be fixed by. You will come together not out of need, but out of a shared desire to celebrate and enhance the wholeness that you both already embody. This is the foundation of a conscious, sacred relationship. A relationship between two sovereign beings who choose to walk together, not because they are incomplete without each other, but because their union creates a synergy that amplifies the light they both already carry. The soul who left was a guide. They led you to the doorway of your own heart. Their departure was the final, most important lesson. They were showing you that the love you were seeking was inside of you all along. When you can see this, the pain of the separation transforms into a profound gratitude. You can thank them for the role they played, for loving you enough to leave you, so that you could finally find yourself. The end of that connection was not the end of your love story. It was the beginning of the most important love story of all, the one where you finally, irrevocably, fall in love with yourself. As we journey through the landscape of love and connection, we are often operating from a limited human perspective. We see endings as failures, separations as tragedies. We measure the success of a relationship by its longevity. But from a higher soul perspective, there are no endings, only transformations. There are no failures, only lessons. And the purpose of a connection is not always permanence, but the evolution of consciousness. When we experience the profound pain of a soul connection that does not merge, we are being invited to expand our understanding of love. We are being asked to release our attachment to form, to the idea that love must look a certain way, that it must fit into the neat and tidy boxes of our societal conditioning. We are being initiated into a more transcendent, more unconditional form of love, a love that honors the soul's journey above the ego's desires. This is the love of the awakened heart. An awakened heart knows that every person who comes into our lives is a teacher. It understands that the most challenging relationships are often our greatest assignments, offering us the most potent opportunities for growth. An awakened heart can hold the paradox of loving someone deeply while also accepting that you are not meant to be together. It can feel the pain of the physical separation without losing the connection on a soul level. This higher perspective allows us to see the perfection in every experience, even the ones that break our hearts. We begin to understand that the universe is not punishing us, but guiding us. The separation that feels like a cruel twist of fate is, in fact, an act of grace. It is clearing the path for something new, something more aligned, something that will serve our highest good in a way that the previous connection could not. This is also where we learn the true meaning of surrender. Surrender is not giving up. It is not a passive resignation to a painful reality. It is an active, conscious choice to trust in a higher intelligence, to let go of our need to control the outcome, and to have faith that everything is unfolding for our ultimate benefit. It is the release of the question, why is this happening to me? And the embrace of the more empowering question, what is this trying to teach me? When we operate from this place of trust and surrender, we begin to notice the synchronicities, the signs, the subtle guidance that the universe is constantly providing. We see that the end of one chapter is always the beginning of another. We start to get excited about the blank pages ahead, knowing that we are the authors of our own story, and that we are being guided by a force of love that is far greater than our limited understanding. The soul who met you but did not merge with you was a pivotal character in your story. They played their part perfectly. They delivered their lines with precision, and their exit was not a premature departure. It was a perfectly timed cue for the next act of your life to begin. An act where you are the protagonist, an act where you step into your power, your wisdom, and your own radiant light. The love you share does not die. It transforms. It becomes a part of you, a source of strength, a well of wisdom from which you can draw for the rest of your life. The connection on a soul level remains. You can carry the essence of that person in your heart with love and gratitude without the need for their physical presence. This is the freedom of unconditional love. It is a love that does not require possession, a love that celebrates the freedom and the unique path of the other, as well as your own. So, as we bring our journey today to a close, I invite you to hold any past or present connections that have not merged with this higher perspective. See them not as sources of pain, but as sources of profound spiritual growth. Honor the souls who have played these catalyst roles in your life. Thank them for their courage, for their love, and for the awakening they sparked within you. And most importantly, honor yourself. Honor the journey you have been on, the resilience you have shown, the wisdom you have gained. You are not broken, you are breaking open. You are not losing love. You are becoming a more expansive, more conscious, more powerful vessel for love to move through. The souls we meet are the curriculum, but the love, the wholeness, the divinity you are seeking has been and always will be within you.